Hi, this is Sam Grant and we're back in Illustrator again. Today we're going to use an effect in Illustrator that's called Envelope Distort, and we're going to do this by taking this particular block of text, which is still in text form as you can see by the underscoring baseline and the bounding box, and then we're going to combine it with this object here, which is a drawing in the shape of a fish. This combination is going to distort the letters in the shape of the fish, and then it will appear that the letters themselves are actually forming the fish, and the background object itself will just become the holding shape for it. Now this box that we have going around here that has just a black stroke around it is going to be the water that we're going to use after we get this effect applied. So let's get started. Now the good news here is that you do not have to convert the text to outlines in order to apply a pattern, because we're going to kind of jazz this up a little bit. Now I put a couple of patterns over here for us to choose from, and the one that I'm going to use is Pomo Color. Now you can see that this particular pattern has now filled the shape of the letters. Now what we're going to do is a very, very simple trick. We're going to hold down the Shift key, and then we're going to select both the words and the shape of the fish at the same time. With both of these objects selected, now the Distort command knows exactly where to go and how to apply the effect. It gets easier from here. Simply go to the Object menu, go down to Envelope Distort, and then choose Make with Top Object. This effect will join the top object with the underlying shape and create the warp. And there we are. You're looking at the shape of the word spawn now filling the actual shape of the fish. Now, to undo this, you simply go back to Edit and choose Undo Make Envelope. And that brings us back to this. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want to expand the effect a little bit more. I would like to have a color behind the word. You did notice that if we go back and redo the Make Envelope, that all of the fill and stroke characteristics of the object are now gone. You also do not have the color effects in the palette anymore, and there is absolutely no way to edit this once it's already been done. In order to make any kind of changes to this, you have to go back and undo the Make Envelope or release it to go back and make the effects again. So we want to actually have a color behind the fish. So I'm going to do a simple effect by clicking away, and that deselects everything. Then I'm going to press and hold down the Option key, and then I'm going to press the mouse and drag a copy of the fish down below the original fish. Then release the mouse, then release the Option key. This is going to be my background object after I've created the Envelope Distort. So let's go back, select the word Spawn, press the Shift key and get the first fish. Now go back to Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Top Object. Now that we have our shape, we can simply grab the fish at the bottom and then maneuver it into position so that it's directly on top of our new Envelope Distort. Then we can simply go to the Edit menu and choose Cut. That places a copy of that fish on the clipboard. Then we simply select our Envelope Distorted fish, go back to Edit, and choose Paste and Back. Now you can see the shape behind the word Spawn. But that's not enough contrast for us. Let's play around with some different colors. For example, you can go with brighter colors, like a yellow, or darker colors, like a chocolate. Even black. Let's go with the chocolate brown now and fill this into the shape. Now it's time to apply the effect to the water. So simply go ahead now and select the rectangle that's behind the actual shape. This rectangle has a fill of white and a black stroke. Now we're going to apply a water effect. I have a couple of saved swatches here, and this particular swatch makes a waves pattern, which is similar to an underwater effect. Select this, and now we have the illusion that our fish is swimming underwater. But it's not quite good enough because you still don't have the exact same effect that you're looking for. So, while this is selected, let's go to the Edit menu and then choose Copy. We now have a copy of the water on the clipboard. Now, go to the Select menu and deselect. This will make every object on the page unselected. Once this is done, go back to the Edit menu and choose Paste in Front. We now have a duplicate copy of the water pasted in front of the other object. But now we want to do some effects. The first thing we're going to do is that we're going to drop the transparency. And you can do this by simply going into the Window menu and then bringing up the Transparency palette. I'm going to switch the transparency from normal to multiply. And you can see the beginnings of the shape coming through. Now with multiply turned on, the transparency is now using the multiple alpha channel in order to see through this. Then I'm going to drop the opacity of the waves on top so that you can see even more of the fish. Continue to drop this until you're getting the effect that you're happy with. So at 54%, I now have enough of the fish that I can actually see through it, but I've still got some waves going through, which gives the illusion that the fish is underwater. You can play around and experiment with some of these other effects, but this is a cool way on how you can actually use the envelope distort to get any shape you want.